Now, this story also provides a good analogy, as I mentioned earlier, about obedience. And I want to show it to you. See, remember that at first the disciples were fishing without Christ. And apart from Christ, how much did they catch? Nothing. They had been fishing all night without Jesus, and they came up empty. Now, I'm a novice fisherman, and sometimes me and my sons will go fishing at the park in Youngsville by the library there. They stock it with catfish. This really makes it embarrassing. They stock it with catfish and trout for you to catch, and we'll go out there fishing and just come up empty, nothing. And when I go fishing, I'll spend about 30 minutes, and then I'm like, all right, let's go. They're not biting today. These guys had been, that makes me a horrible fisherman, huh? But these guys have been fishing all night long. Professional fishermen, they came up empty. And then all of a sudden, Jesus comes along. And he tells them, cast the net on the right side. And they did it. And just like that, they had a full net of fish. Life apart from Christ, doing life your own way, you're going to come up empty. Whenever you follow God's instructions, life works best. And that's really the big idea of this sermon. Life works best when you do it God's way. For years, Lydia would teach the kids, I don't hear her say it as much now that they're getting bigger, but whenever they were little, she would say over and over again, the best life is the obedient life. The best life is the obedient life. Now, when you obey Jesus and put him first in your life and make him Lord and Master, not just Savior, when you start doing what he says, that doesn't mean you're going to have a thriving fishing business all of a sudden. Doesn't mean that you're going to experience health, wealth, and prosperity. But what it means is life is going to work best. You're going to have the best possible kind of life that you can have, that you're meant to have. One thing about obedience that you need to remember, especially kids, listen to this. God doesn't need your obedience. God is just fine without your obedience. In other words, he's happy. He's going to carry on with his plan and his will. You need your obedience. You need to be obedient for you. Because the best life is the obedient life. Life works best whenever we follow God's instructions.